I'll be right back with Meg Ryan, one Hollywood leading lady with a whole different angle on the power and the glory of it all.
We haven't figured out.
Today, from a slightly different angle, the tremendous box office success of When Harry Met Sally and Sleepless in Seattle have made Meg bankable, powerful, and more. But when Meg Ryan first emerged, she looked like nothing more than a cute little newcomer in the middle of a movie called Inner Space back in 1987.
Not fair.
What is?
That performance didn't exactly result in overnight stardom, but Meg and her co-star, Dennis Quaid, fell in love during Inner Space. Then they courted during the making of DOA, and they ended up getting married a couple of years later, an eventuality that was detectable whenever Meg talked about Dennis.
He's just so generous, you know, and he really listens, which is a rare thing that you get with an actor. And we also trust each other a lot.
And with her personal life in fine shape, Meg the megastar became a reality with When Harry Met Sally. The movie and the character Meg Ryan will always be remembered for.
I just didn't want to sleep with you, and you had to write it off as a character flaw instead of dealing with the possibility that it might have something to do with you.
Most women at one time or another have faked it.
And Meg's Harry and Sally version of faking orgasm in a deli turned out to be one of the most memorable scenes in recent movie history.
Oh, God. Oh. 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 Oh.
When you get that feedback from like one scene in one movie that you probably now will live with for perhaps forever, how do you feel about that? What's that do to your head?
It's just great. If you know, that just feels great. I don't know. I don't think of it as limiting in any way.
No.
It's just kind of a nice thing. People laughed, and that's good. So okay, that's fine in and of itself.
When you did that, did you have any idea it would leave such a lasting impression?
No, no. It was like a really hard thing to do. I was telling somebody else, just sort of a heavy, happy denial for 2 weeks before I did it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you know, your body kind of works it into the, you know, you did it, okay, it's over, but yeah. Denial always precedes those sorts of things.
You didn't want to do it?
No, I mean, yeah, but it's just a hard thing to do, you know, I guess.
Yes! 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 Oh! 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 Oh, God. Oh.
A movie milestone, if ever there was one, with Sleepless in Seattle being a landmark of another kind for Meg Ryan in the pure simplicity of her character and the pure romance of the story.
What was so special about your wife?
Well, Dr. Marcia Fieldstone, I think. It was like magic.
You have become one of Hollywood's leading ladies. There's no question about it. With the box office success of Sleepless and all that, you went into this kind of like power position.
Well, I think that the power really lays in the box office. That's the bottom line. Do you know? But, and traditionally men have brought in the dollars, but maybe that's because we haven't figured out how to market to the women yet. And maybe the women will bring in the dollars.
I do not want to move to Seattle.
But what I really don't want to do is end up always wondering what might have happened and knowing I could have done something.
It seems to me that the power that's granted to most women most easily in film is sexual power, and so we've accomplished that. Let's kind of move on and be appreciated in other ways, you know, for your intellect or your compassion or your nurturing abilities or your insights, your creativity, all those things.
Some of those things are what motivated Meg to play her most recent roles in When a Man Loves a Woman as an alcoholic who recovers and then has to rearrange her marriage to Andy Garcia, and in Flesh and Bone as a woman suddenly faced with a past she didn't know she had, with the idea of playing opposite Dennis Quaid, her real-life husband and father of their baby, an extra added incentive.
When you're changing diapers with somebody, you forget that they really are one of the great actors of all time.
Must get lonely on the road sometimes.
No. Like anything else, you're born to it.
Well, you're a born listener, that's for sure.
Meg Ryan, Julia Roberts, Sharon Stone, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Janet Jackson all have a chance at being nominated for a Best Actress Academy Award this year, although I'd say only 2 of the 5 have a really good chance.